Good evening, everyone. I'm hoping that your Thursday has been good to you, and I'm hoping that you were able to be good to your Thursday. You're listening to Gold Stacy, and this is Daily Meditations, another mumbo jumbo. So let's just jump right into today. Today, meditation came later. And by later, I mean it was not the first thing that I did. It was not even the first few things that I did or engaged in. It was actually a very upsetting and angry morning. So before I could even get in a good ground in or even give thanks, I'll be honest, there were some triggers and there was some feelings and some emotions and some thoughts, and it all pointed to rage and anger. And I was so disappointed in myself. I just could not believe that I was having these feelings and I was having this sensation of anger, and that I felt that someone moved me there, meaning I didn't want to be angry. I did not want to have an upsetness in my spirit. I went to bed feeling really beautiful, really good. And I woke up feeling pretty good. And then I received some communication that just threw me for a loop. And it was challenging to just be up that early in the morning and have that level of anger coursing through my veins. It just seemed wrong. And I felt bad. And not bad in the sense of, oh, I feel bad. Like I felt like a bad person because I was feeling anger. And I just did not want to have that sensation in me. I just didn't know where I could put it. I have no experience with expressing anger in a healthy way or at all. And I became aware of it in that moment as this foreign. I've been upset before. I've been sad. I've been depressed. I've been a few of the non-good feelings. But anger is one that I cannot say that I engage in, I'll say often, or I won't say at all. I've felt angered before, but the last time that I actually felt angry, like I really couldn't even remember. And so I did not know what to do. I let myself cry. I let myself vent to a few friends. I let myself receive their advice, receive their listening ear. But I was still so angry. I was able to get out to some water with a very loving soul. And it just was by chance to run into this person as well. And they said, hey, let's go to the creek. And we went to the creek. And when I got that invitation, I knew I'd be able to meditate. I knew I would be able to sit with it. And the fact that I'd be outside in nature, I'd be by this creek energy, stone energy, river stones. I just knew as I was being invited into this natural, open, beautiful, this nature space, I knew that I could do the work that I needed to do to not only make one with my anger, but to receive my anger. Because I know with every state of being, there's a message, there's a lesson. And I was finished with the frustration of being angry, and I was ready to receive the gift of being angry. And we went out to this creek, My cats are having a wonderful time here behind my sofa. I don't know if you all can hear this. They're literally playing tag behind the sofa. I mean, they're just a joy to watch and experience. So here I am at this creek with this wonderful soul. And we had time to, of course, get blankets and snacks and, all the essentials you need for a wonderful day out by the river. And we found that wonderful creek that bleeds into the main river, and we put down the sheet, and I began to do that work. And I just sat in it, and I sat in it, and I ate some snacks, and I let my feet get wet. I let the water tickle me. It was so cool and refreshing, and I let it wash over my feet. I picked up some litter from around the area, and I took some breaths. And I took breaths that felt like I had never taken a breath before. That anger was still pulsating through me. It was much quieter now. I wasn't enraged to the point of tears. I was no longer, as you say, besides myself in it. I was sitting with it. And in sitting with it, I was ready to ask some questions, and I was ready to receive those answers. And as I sat with this anger, that I felt like, okay, so the anger is justified, but why do I have to feel the anger? And why do I let other people or why am I letting other people, outside influence, external influence, move me to anger? And so as I'm having these questions and having this thought and this meditation by the creek with my feet getting wet, I became aware that it wasn't necessarily about the external influence. It was more of who the external influence was. And then I had to sit with that, meaning my anger was directed. It was rooted in something. It was rooted in some experiences, and for whatever reason, I felt like those experiences, if not were happening again, they were threatening to happen. And I became afraid. And in my shame of being afraid, I became angry. So of course now I'm ready to blame. Oh, I was right there by that water, and I just knew whose fault it was. And as clear as you can hear me now, what I had truly been waiting on showed up. Blue. That blue energy that speaks to me, speaks through me, speaks for me in certain occasions. It was very clear in saying one simple phrase. We all come from the same place. We all come from the same place. And I don't really understand how or why this calmed me, but it definitely put me into, as we would say, I dropped into the meditation. And I had instruction because I dropped into it more. I settled into what was happening more. I settled into that anger. I settled into that blame. And it all spoke to me. It let me know, hey, we all come from the same place. So even if you cannot address the higher self in someone else for whatever reason, You can address it within yourself. It is in all of us, this higher energy, this ability to choose something greater, something more lovely, something more beneficial. And I knew in that moment that the anger would not be with me forever. And I knew in that moment I wasn't even angry at that person. And I knew in that moment I could forgive and let the anger go from within. I could forgive myself for being so angry at an external influence. I could forgive myself for being ashamed of my anger. I could just let it go. I was by the water. And as I'm coming to this awareness, I'm holding a piece of grapefruit. And I could feel myself allowing the transference of the energies into that piece of fruit. I buried that fruit. I buried it. Buried it knowing it would decay and break down into the earth and make more life, make more soul, become a part of the bigger picture. And I felt like that's what I had done with my meditation. I had let myself become a part of the bigger picture. I had let myself go back to, we all come from the same place. And that place is love. Yes, love. And I was able to sit in that awareness and feel the transference from anger and rage into love, acceptance, forgiveness. And I felt beautiful again. And I felt alive again. And I felt like I made a new friend. And I did. And I was able to make peace with my anger. I don't know when I'll feel angry again. I'm pretty sure it will happen. I'm having a human experience. Anger is a part of it. But it doesn't have to be the worst of it. It doesn't have to be the death sentence. It doesn't have to be what you sit in for yourself, for others. We all come from the same place. And that in itself, I mean, even now saying that we all come from the same place. So much of the blame was let go. So much of all of what did not serve me was let go. You all, today's daily meditation by the creek was profound, it was gentle, and it was needed. I'm so thankful to be able to share this awakening with you, this understanding with you, this knowing with you. I hope that as you listen to this, you give yourself permission to feel some things you've been not wanting to feel or afraid to feel or having shame to feel. And you let yourself feel them. Feel it. Feel you. We all come from the same place. Thank you all for listening. Later.